A local golf course is about to shut down, and there's more to the closure than just the bad economy. The owner of El Rancho Verde Golf Course in Rialto plans to close the course next week. New at 5, Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan explains why it's largely because of the owner's battle with environmentalists and the plans to develop the area around the golf course.
This is really an aquifer. That means the soil is loose, a lot of rocks, the water drains into it. They would stop all that because they put houses on it. There would be no way for the water that comes out of the floodplain to seep into the soil and into the ground table.
Resident Lynn Boshart is part of another group of residents trying to stop the development regardless of what happens to the golf course. She's concerned about the big project's environmental impact.
Our intent was never to close the golf course. We realize its value to all the homeowners, to the city, to the people who love to play golf. We've never advocated for the golf course to close. That's Mr. Ferris's choice.
Golfers have been teeing it up at El Rancho Verde and Rialto for more than 50 years. But all the history at this golf course could soon be coming to an end. Because of economic reasons, the owner has announced his intention to close the place less than a week from now.
It's really kind of disappointing to most people in this area because we play here 2 or 3 times a week.
It's not just concerning for golfers, but for residents on the course concerned about their property values.
It's worth our efforts to try to find ways to help the owner stay afloat. With the down economy, the discretionary dollars, aren't there as much for golf. And we've suffered that tremendously.
I don't know his financial worth, but his website says that the financial worth of his company is well over $300 million.
Yeah. We don't see any end in sight to that litigation, and that's the problem.
Can you afford to battle it out, or is your attorney on contingency, or how do you pay for that?
Well, we pay the bills as they come in as best we can.
Yeah.
Most of us here are retired. We donated our own money, time, and effort, held yard sales. We recycle things to raise funds to pay for our attorney. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to leverage that by closing down a golf course.
The reason the owner bought the place was because he wanted to expand it as part of a master plan community with thousands of new homes back here.
I think their father bought it, and he bought it out of the failed SNL debacle.
Oh.
Okay, so that's where they picked up all the land, and they bought it very cheaply.
But that's something that some residents don't want to see, so they've sued.
And the interesting thing is many people were told when they purchased their home that was a 100-year floodplain and would never be built on. You can ask people who've lived here 30 or 50 years, and they were all told that. We were told that when we bought.
So now the future of this project and the golf course is in doubt.
Rialto even did financial studies of this project. And it doesn't matter whether you have the PERS tax or the utility users tax or no tax, it doesn't make money for the city. It's a loser, money loser for the city. It seems to me a travesty that for a few homes that would offer no income to the city, they're willing to plow under some of the very last habitat of some very endangered species that are found nowhere else in the world. Once the habitat is gone, it's gone. It doesn't come back. Once you build a house, you can knock it down and build another one. You can't build another floodplain. You can't build another habitat for San Bernardino kangaroo rat or all the other things that are there that live together happily.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
If you guys succeed in stopping that project, but this golf course is out of business as a result of that, is it worth it?
I think it is worth it. The golf course could be sold. He has had an offer to buy it to another group.
We don't see any end in sight to that litigation, and that's the problem.
This is an alluvial fan. It's on 2 earthquake faults. It's subject to flooding, high winds and fires. To put homes there is an unconscionable thing to do. It doesn't mean that we are against all development, but we want it to be thoughtful, we want it to be carefully planned, we want it to be considered of what's going to be left for future generations.
A meeting is scheduled tomorrow night for residents to talk about ways to try to save the golf course, but unless they can get the equivalent of a hole-in-one, these greens, which have stood the test of time for decades, could be turning brown in a matter of weeks. In Rialto, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
It's just too hard to fathom.